Hey, what is up guys, Grenadier here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to pick an editing software. And this is a new series called How to YouTube, and I'm going to start this up and hopefully teach you guys something. So let's go ahead and get started with picking one software. So you have to pick one software and only learn one at a time. So if you're learning how to, let's say, do karate, or learning how to fish, or learning how to ride a bike, you want to do that particular thing for a long time so you get used to doing it and you learn how to do it efficiently, versus trying to do karate, fishing, and learning how to ride a bike all at once. So let's go ahead and get started. And the following programs are both Windows and Mac compatible, so there's no need to worry compatibility wise. So Adobe After Effects. So a lot of you might have heard of this. I used to use this when I would make montages, Call of Duty montages to be specific, and I loved it. I still love it to this day. It's just that I use a Mac and it's not that great on the Mac because it's more optimized for Windows, but you can still use it on the Mac. So Adobe After Effects, as the name implies, is best for special effects, short projects, montages, commercials, short movies. And I emphasize the shortness because when I use it on my Mac or when I use it on my Windows PC, it tends to crash after, a 30-minute video. So you want to make sure that to get the most out of it, to keep your video length in between maybe 10 to 30 minutes, so that way it's not that tough on the editing software. So again, this is Mac and Windows compatible, and this is subscription based. At one point it was just a one-time fee, but now it's $31.49 a month, or you could do $239.88 for the whole year. Now again, subscription based, so you pay this every single year or every single month. So that is, I guess, the only, I don't know how to describe it. It might be an upside for people or a downside. For me, it's a downside. I just want to pay once. I don't want to pay every year or every month. But some people think that $30 isn't a lot for a month. So that's up to you. And here's a screenshot of the Adobe After Effects workspace. So this is what it looks like. It's a lot going on, I know. So if you're new to editing, if you've never edited before, and if you're getting into the YouTube game, this is the stuff you're gonna have to deal with. And the beauty of editing is that when you learn one software, they're all basically the same. It's just that the buttons are placed in different locations. So let's go ahead and move on to Adobe Premiere Pro. So just like Adobe After Effects, this does video editing. So this is best for YouTube video editing, long and short videos, light special effects, and it's used by most YouTubers. It's CPU and GPU performance based, and it's subscription based as well, just like Adobe After Effects. So by YouTube video editing and by used by most YouTubers, if you go ahead and you watch your favorite YouTubers, you might find a video of them explaining how they use Adobe Premiere and how they prefer Adobe Premiere over any other software. And that's because they stuck to it, they learned it, they mastered it, and now they can basically do whatever they want. They can transfer their creativity from their mind to the computer and make it much more efficient versus, learning a bunch of different softwares. So if you learn one software, you love it, you use it, you can make the best out of it. Also, this is a CPU and GPU performance based. So if you have a very high-end computer, you will not have an issue with Adobe Premiere. However, if you're trying to edit on a $200 laptop, it might not work as you might think it would. And then again, subscription based, it is $20.99 a month or $239.88 a year. Moving on, this is the screenshot. So this is the Adobe Premiere Pro workspace here. It's a lot to look at. It looks similar to the Adobe After Effects, but it has its own different look. And again, it does the same thing, but the buttons are in a different place, and the things that you can do are limited a little bit. But the beauty of Adobe is that all Adobe products work together, so you can hop from After Effects to Premiere to Photoshop, and it's just more seamless. So moving on, CAMTASIA or CAMTASIA, I don't know how you call it, but I've been using this for the past 10 years. I've used this since my beginning on YouTube. So this worked on my $200 laptop Toshiba. So if that is an indication of how great it works on low-end PCs, then just imagine having a high-end PC. So this is best for short projects, basic video editing, light special effects, and it's great for beginners because this is the first software that I learned how to use on my own. I taught myself how to use Camtasia and I loved it. I still love it to this day. It's a little too basic for me though. I want to add more callouts, more 3D stuff, and in order to do that, I need a better and higher end editing software. So this is good if you're just starting on YouTube and you don't know if you're gonna make it on YouTube and you don't want to spend a lot of money. However, some of you might think $249 is a lot of money, and it kind of is, but if you make that initial investment and you like it and you learn it, it's not that expensive as compared to, say, Sony Vegas, which we'll get here into a minute. And again, Apple and Mac, or I mean Apple and Mac, same thing, Apple and Windows compatible here, so you don't have to worry about compatibility. And let's move on to the screenshot here. So this is the workspace. As you can tell, compared to Adobe After Effects and Premiere, it has way less buttons. It gives you what you need and not what you don't need, and it hides everything else that you don't need to see. So it shows you your timeline, it shows you your preview, and it shows you your tools on the top left. So here is the section where it's Windows only. So these, or it's basically just Sony Vegas Pro 15. So this is only for Windows. You can't get this on Mac. You can probably use it using Boot Camp and loading up a window like that, but this is basically just for Windows. So this is best for light special effects, short and long projects, and it's optimized for Windows. So it'll work really great on Windows and it doesn't work on Mac at all. But basically what that means is that this Sony Vegas is less prone to crashes and less prone to issues because it's meant for Windows only. So the devs only have to focus on Windows materials only. So you can do commercials, short movies, and this one is different from Adobe because it's a one-time fee of $599, 600 bucks, 600 bones. And I know that sounds like a lot, but if you learn how to use it, if you download the trial and you teach yourself within the first 2 weeks or the first week, you can eventually make your decision by then if you want to go ahead and invest. As of now, there's a $449 special since May 14th of 2018, or maybe in the future it'll be less expensive. And this, I'm pretty sure if you get on Amazon or just Google in general, you can find yourself a Sony Vegas Pro 14 or 13 or even 12 code to install it. And over here is the workspace. As you can tell, there's a pattern here with the video editing softwares. There's timeline on the bottom, there's a preview on the top right, and the things that you can do on the top left. So again, like I said, once you learn one software, you learn them all. So you want to pick one and stick to it. And now let's get into the Mac only, and this is where I have maybe the slight bias here. So Final Cut Pro 10. This is what I use to edit now. And I mean, having used several different editing softwares in the past, this has to be hands down my favorite. Now again, this is best for light special effects, short and long projects, YouTube video editing, used by most YouTubers, optimized for Mac OS. So just like Sony Vegas, this is the Sony Vegas for Mac. So it works really well on Mac because Apple devs only have to focus on Apple products, and that way they can optimize the software to work in its favor. So what I like about Final Cut Pro is that it renders in the background. So it's rendering the video as you're editing the video. Isn't that crazy how it renders the video as you edit it? So that way when you render it, when you render your final rendition, it'll just render real fast. And I mean, it's real cool. And if, by the way, if you don't know what the word render means, I'm going to add a little card here for you to click on. This is an old video I made that describes what the word rendering means, and I'm going to make more of those just to help those beginners that aren't familiar with the terminology and things around that nature. So again, going back to the Final Cut Pro 10, it's a one-time fee of $299.99. I feel like this is the cheaper of the bunch. I think Camtasia is actually the cheapest, but Final Cut Pro is, you know, one up above that, and it's only for Apple. So the reason it's only for Apple is because Apple wants to dominate every single sector that they're in. So The laptop sector, they're trying to dominate it. The editing software, they're trying to dominate it. The phone sector, dominate. So they're trying to dominate all these sectors, and I think that they really did a great job with Final Cut Pro 10. What's his name? MBKHD, a very famous tech YouTuber, only uses Final Cut Pro. He used to use Adobe After Effects and Adobe Premiere, and now he's moved on to Apple products, and he's found that it's more efficient to use Apple here. But then again, the reason that is because of the optimization for Final Cut Pro on Apple. I'm pretty sure that Adobe works better on Windows than it does on Apple because it's slightly more optimized for that. So again, there's just so much you can dive into here, but today I just want to go over the couple of different editing softwares that are available at your disposal. And these are not the only ones out there. So do your research. Go ahead and just get on Google and type in video editing software and just go ahead and find one. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike and leave a comment down below. Let me know which one you use, which one you think you should use. And if you have any questions, also drop those in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.